So this is the week that my family was gonna go on vacation in January. Been super excited for months and months leading up to this, counting down the days, My dad will be like 58 days, 22 days. This whole past week he was like, what I'm gonna be doing on the boat this time next week? What are we gonna do? And also we've been watching YouTube videos this week of people who've been on the ship that we were gonna go on to see what it was like and what to expect at the ports of call and what we could do. So super, super excited to go. It was gonna be awesome. We flew out on Friday. We drove 3 hours to Tulsa to then fly to California, stay the night for one night in a hotel, and the next morning we were gonna get on the boat. But when I was checking in, my driver's license is expired by 2 months, so they did not let me go. I had no idea my driver's license was expired because I didn't get the mail that said so, and I don't just read it all the time. I've had it for like 6 years, had no idea. 2 months ago it expired, and they've got a 1 month grace period, and after that it's just, you're out of luck. Our tickets were not refundable, so I'm sitting there trying to figure out what to do, and there's literally only one thing that can happen, is that I needed to just fly home and let everyone else go. I already feel really bad that the money my parents spent on my ticket is now just wasted, going for nothing. We had to spend like $500 on airplane and Ubers to get me a flight home. Of course, everyone else feels bad, is upset. They were crying too. I'm sure they don't want to act like they're having a good time. Even if they are having a good time, they're going to feel guilty and not want to tell me. It's just really hard to wait so long to go on a super fun trip you're so excited for. You've prepared for every little thing. I was packing, getting ready. I was kind of actually bored this week leading up to it because I didn't have a lot to do. So I was just doing last minute packing and getting ready and getting everything in order. And then one stupid little thing didn't let me go. I actually just got back from the license bureau, and it took 5 minutes to get my driver's license renewed. It was such a tiny little thing, and prevented me from going on this trip. It was so hard leaving my family at the port. For the first time, had to take an Uber to LAX. It's like $40 to take an Uber. Sucks when it's, just waste so much money on something you don't want to do, not get to do the thing you want to do. Then I had to find where my gate was in the airport, be ready to get on. It's my first time flying alone. I've usually only flown a few times with my family, so I had to find where I needed to be, make sure I was there in time. I actually had to take a 50-minute flight to Phoenix, and then the rest of the way I would fly back to Tulsa. So it was my first time taking 2 flights and having to make sure I got there in the short little layover there was, and it was just really hard because I had just flown out the day before, and so going back to the airport was just so sad. It was really hard not to cry. I mean, I did cry my way through security and sitting waiting for the plane. I stayed in the bathroom a while to cry, but I needed to charge my phone and make sure I didn't miss my flight, so I just kind of had to sit there around everybody else, trying not to cry. Then get smushed into an airplane next to strangers, still trying not to cry, as my neighbor talks about their trip they just took to Hawaii and stuff, and all I can think is, wow, I didn't get to have a trip. I only got to have the worst parts of vacation, of flying, driving, that first night in a hotel before you actually do anything fun. The second flight was longer, probably 2.5 hours. It was harder to not cry on that one. It was just longer. It was super hard watching the airplanes take off, going the opposite direction of where I wanted to go, not get to go on this trip, knowing my family's on the boat, taking off, exploring around like I wanted to do. There was actually a really, really nice girl in the bathroom at the first airport. I had been crying in the bathroom when I came out and was at the mirror washing my hands and wiping my face, and she stopped me and was she said she hoped whatever was going on would get better and asked if I was okay, and it was just really, really nice. she was a sweet girl, and I really appreciated that. I know that like this is not a life and death thing. It's not like the end of the world. It's not nearly as big as a lot of problems there are, but it just was really, really crushing, especially that day, to be expected to go and do this really awesome thing, and then no, you're flying straight home alone. I get to Tulsa and it's like -2 degrees. I had to find our car, which I had no idea where it was parked because my dad dropped us off at the front door with our luggage and parked the car. So had to have someone help me find the car and then start driving home in the freezing, freezing cold, which was just another sad reminder that I'm not on a boat headed to Mexico for a fun few days. No, I'm in freezing, freezing, freezing below zero temperatures. And after having the longest day already, just getting off of 2 flights, feeling drained and exhausted, I still had 3 hours to drive home. I stopped at a gas station right off because my mom told me to have some caffeine, make sure I was, wide awake. And I was like starving. It really sucked because I had hardly eaten anything the night before and nothing in the morning because I was gonna get on the boat today, and there's tons and tons of food and you don't have to worry about anything. So I'd basically eaten nothing all day. It was midnight by the time I had to start my drive. So I went to Quick Trip and I'm trying to just find some snacks to eat because it's midnight. There's no hot food even. I got a tea and some chips and cookies to eat. Wasn't really very good. It just made me sadder because I was just looking forward to the fun, different foods you get to try on the boat, all the different options, things. And instead I'm like digging through a convenience store trying to find a snack. I really tried to blast out to some music driving home because I knew I couldn't cry this part of the journey because I needed to be focused on the road and careful. It was like freezing cold, but luckily it hadn't began snowing yet to make the roads dangerous. So it started to snow the next day. So at various points on the trip, I would roll the window down when it was -2 degrees to make myself more alert, that freezing air on me. So I finally arrived home at 3 in the morning, and I had left my stuff, my car, at my parents' house, and since it was so late and I was so tired, I just stayed the night there. And I kind of figured I would just stay there anyway because my parents have our dog babysat by a friend, and so I decided to go get her the next day, so I was going to stay there anyway with her. But man, it's really tough going home and seeing all the reminders of the preparedness you did for the trip. How I had sat in my sister's closet the night before helping her pick out clothes. The kitchen is completely empty because, we didn't need any food going to waste all week. Also, I don't even have like half of my stuff. I had shared a suitcase with my mom and they'd already taken that to the boat when I went to check in. So all the clothes I packed, all my socks, underwear, just random things, my face wash, my moisturizer, like the big stuff I couldn't bring on the plane. Don't have any of it. It got to go to Mexico when I didn't, so that's nice. There's just so many things that suck about not getting to go on a trip you planned for, and one of them has to be coming home and it turning into the most freezing, snowy, awful, cold weather we've had all year. It started snowing the day after I got home. School's been canceled for all the kids. School and everything being canceled for people, it makes me feel like I probably shouldn't go out and drive and be on the roads if they're telling everyone else to stay off the roads. So to make it even worse, I kind of just feel like I'm housebound. Like I can't even go anywhere, do anything, distract myself from not getting to do what I plan to do. Because the last thing I need to do is get in a car accident, run my car off the road, slide off the road because of the weather. So I'm basically stuck in the house. I've got our dog, which is nice because at least that's something to distract me, someone to kind of keep me company, because it's just really hard because I don't have a lot of friends or people in my life, and basically everybody that I talk to and is my support system is on the trip. And I don't want to bring them down by messaging them a lot and bothering them and making them feel bad that they gotta go and I didn't. So basically, I'm just kind of having to stew in my feelings here alone. Today was the first day I got out because I can walk to the license bureau. not too far. I'd like to drive somewhere, go somewhere, but I'm still trying to stay off the roads, and I think tomorrow it's gonna warm up a little bit more, and I'll maybe drive over to my house, pick up a few things, maybe go to the store, go somewhere, do something to pass the time. Because my family doesn't come home for like still a week. I'm actually gonna have to go to Tulsa, drive 3 hours again to pick them up, which kind of sucks, but I guess I just have to do that. They've messaged me a few times to see how I'm doing, check on me. I kind of want to text them and ask what they're doing, but I also know it's gonna make me really sad because like today was supposed to be the first port day. They're in, I think they're in Mazatlan in Mexico, and then they go to Cabo, and I was just really excited to go. So everything about this is just like the worst. It hurts me so much that I was excited for something I didn't get to go. It makes me angry. It makes me feel guilty because even if they got to go, I know they're feeling bad about it and like gonna feel like a little guilty that they don't want to like talk about it, act like they had so much fun. And it is gonna hurt if I see the photos that they got because I wanted to go. And it's just for such a stupid thing. It took 5 minutes to get my driver's license renewed. I just had to like formally renew it, pay $27, and they give me a piece of paper. That's all I needed. I'm the same person as my old license. It was just 2 months expired, which is just so frustrating. Apparently the airport will take your license 12 months after expiration date. And I really wish the cruise would have. So Saturday was definitely like the longest day ever, from getting up early that morning to get ready to take the shuttle to go to the port, then having to fly back home, drive back home. So I was so emotional, so distraught. And now I'm just like on the longest week ever because I've got nothing to do, nowhere to go, just nothing happening until I have to pick up my family in 6 days. I'm also frustrated with myself because I need to get a passport before next year because we're taking a trip to Europe. My sister is in high school and it's kind of like a teacher-led group trip. And so she, me, my mom and dad signed up to go, and I'm super, super excited. And I will need to get a passport for that. And I really thought about getting a passport already. Like my parents, they've already got their passports, and I thought about getting one before. And then I would have had it for this trip and could have got it stamped. But I didn't start that process yet. One of the reasons was I wasn't sure if I would get it before this trip because I know it can take up to a few months, and so I wasn't 100% sure if it'd be ready before this trip. But also another reason that I had just kind of drug my feet not starting that process is it's really frustrating and embarrassing and stupid, and it's like the same old me doing the same old thing. Is I always in my head think, oh, I'll just wait and I'm gonna like myself more in the future. Like I didn't want to take a picture for this stupid passport because I was like, you know what, if I wait and I lose some weight and I like how I look better, I'll be happier with a better picture. And that makes me so mad at myself because if I had done the process and had my passport available, that would have worked. I could have gone. And I'm just so tired of like not liking myself, hating myself, and doing something like this, which sabotaged myself and got me not to go on this trip. If I had just gotten my passport, I would have been good to go. It's really crushing that something like that stupid, a picture on my passport, could have been the thing that held me back from going on this trip. And the funny thing is, I was actually like trying to like start practicing being nicer to myself, kinder to myself, accepting myself where I'm at in this moment. Like these first few weeks of January, I was really working hard at that. I've been journaling more, just trying to put myself in a better mindset because I feel like I kind of am prone to negativity, but I've been trying really hard to work on positivity. I'd even like packed some dresses to wear on the trip, was planning to like do my hair and makeup more, you know, dress up for like elegant night and take more care of my appearance than just like the usual comfy shorts and t-shirts we wear. I'd had my hair braided for the first day of travel because I planned to like take it down and have it be wavy for when we got on the boat, so I could kind of like feel a little better about myself, like I had done a little something nicer. But of course, that didn't work out. I don't have a single picture of myself with the cute wavy hair I planned. I've just got a few pictures from like the airport and the shuttle bus with my stupid braids in. And that just sucks because I was really gonna make an effort to just try to like take all the pictures, enjoy myself in this moment, know that I want to still, like every year, get more in shape and more fit and more confident for next year's trip, but kind of just meet myself where I'm at this year and accept that. I was really, really going to do that, but I didn't get to go. Anyway, so this is just the longest, crappiest week of my life, and it's not over yet. I've never cried so much for so many different reasons at so many different times. Little things that remind me that I didn't get to go. All the preparing I did for the trip, seeing my backpack packed, not having all my stuff from the suitcase, being here, and I'm like, I'm super hungry right now. It's 5 o'clock today and I haven't eaten yet because I've just been sad and upset and disgusted with myself. And just like, I was supposed to, just eat whatever they had on the boat, try different things, not have to worry about fixing food. And like, so I just don't want to fix food. I don't want to cook anything. I don't want to do anything. I kind of lived off junk food the first 2 days because I was really upset. And I was like, I was gonna have, fun, different, adventurous, just whatever they cooked on the boat and try that out. But I didn't get to do that. And I was really, starving on the day I flew and drove home. So like I snacked a lot the last 2 days on just junk that was around. And I told myself, okay, that's it. I'm going to snap back to healthy because there's no reason not to. I'm not on vacation. But I haven't felt like doing that yet today, so just haven't eaten anything. Still trying to decide what I'm going to do. I mean, there's not a lot of options because I haven't felt like I could go out and drive around in the snow and cold. So I'm kind of limited anyway. It's very just sad and lonely being here alone while my family's on this trip and I don't really have anyone to talk to. I visit my grandma every weekend and hang out with her, but I'm not sure if I even want to go in a few days because I just don't want to talk about all this. It makes me emotional every time I have to be around people, like at the airport. I just cried so hard every time. Like I was at the ticket counter, I was at security, I was getting on the plane, off the plane. At the DMV, I just had a really hard time not being emotional because that was the reason I didn't get to go. When I had to get our dog, when I got our doggy picked up, it was really hard to talk to them especially because I've cried less today, more the first day, a lot the first day, more the second day when I was home. But anyway, I don't really want to be around people because I'm still really emotional. It's really upsetting. It's also just so embarrassing. Like I don't want to have to explain that I was gonna go on a fun trip, but I didn't get to go because of something so small and insignificant and stupid. And I should have checked. I should have known that I needed to check my ID and make sure it was up to date. I've had that ID for 6 years, but 2 months before my trip, it had to expire. I don't want this to be the trip that is all remembered by, oh, that's the year that Becca ruined the trip. Oh, we didn't take as many photos because we didn't want to hurt her feelings. Oh, people ask my dad about how was the trip and he has to well, not great because it was ruined. Or if I'm around wanting to say he had a good time, Mexico was beautiful, but he feels like he can't. Every year we go and I love looking back at the pictures and seeing what we did, but I don't have that this year and it just makes me really sad. I love to scrapbook our family vacations, but not this year. Didn't work out. I've just got to try to distract myself for the rest of this week. I've been watching a bunch of movies and TV shows because I just need a distraction and something to not remind me of the trip and make me want to cry. Anyway, so hopefully I can try to turn this experience into a lesson to not hate myself so much which is hard because I hate myself for what I did to cause the ruining of this trip and everything. But if I took better care of myself and loved myself more and treated myself better, maybe I would have got my passport already. Maybe I wouldn't. I mean, I just took my picture at the DMV for my license, and of course I hated it. I felt disgusted. I'm way fatter in this photo than I was, you know, my photo 6 years ago. Despite the fact that she asked if all my info was the same and I said yes, my license says I'm 170 pounds and I'm definitely more than that. It's been my goal for years to get back to my driver's license weight, so I'm gonna try to do that, of course, still. Anyway, I guess that's it for now. If anyone's going on a trip, double check that your license is not expired. That's super important, I recommend. And yeah, I'm just gonna try to take it easy the rest of the week and not get too sad. And I'm excited to see my family because it's been just so lonely, but nothing to do now, just gotta wait. Anyway.